Welcome back, everyone. Today I'll be making two dishes, and one is Korean soft tofu or sundubujigae, and the other one is spaghetti sauce. Because the main ingredients are similar, when I do cook one, I also cook the other with it. What we'll need are some ground beef and some garlic and some onion. And I also like to use classical spaghetti sauce from Costco, and the noodles that also are sold at Costco, and that is chili pepper flakes that I store in that almond jar. And we need some sesame oil and green onions. We'll also need some pepper and salt for taste. The green onions are just for the soup. But the garlic is being minced. As you can tell, it's a lot of garlic. But it's going to be used for both the spaghetti sauce and the soup. Then I'm chopping the onions, kind of like cube size, small little cube size. And the onions will be used for the spaghetti sauce as well as the soup. I usually use the ground beef from Costco, but I just didn't have time to go over there and grab it today. So I'm using Sprouts ground beef, and then I'll be using it for both the spaghetti sauce as well as the soup. And I'm going to be dividing into the two different pots. This is the reason why I like to make the spaghetti sauce as well as a soup, sundubu soup, at the same time, because you basically use similar ingredients, so it helps to plan for tonight's dinner as well as tomorrow's. Right after I divide the meat, what I do is I start putting seasonings in. So I put about 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons of chili pepper flakes and some sesame oil. I put around 1 tablespoon of it. And some salt, about 1 teaspoon or 2. And some garlic. And some onions. And then I'll put the onions in the other pot as well, the one that's going to be the spaghetti sauce. And then some garlic in there as well. So there's a pot for the sauce and there's a pot for the soup. And then I'll put some ground pepper. So as the beef is almost done for the sundubujigae or the soft tofu soup, this is when you want to taste it and see if it's spicy enough for you or salty enough. Then you can add a little bit more of the chili pepper flake or a little bit more of the salt. If the spices are just right for you, then you want to go ahead and start putting in the tofu. And the tofu comes in the cylinder shape, or sometimes it just comes in your typical tofu, the rectangular style, and it doesn't matter. As long as it says soft tofu, you'll be fine. And I usually put about 3 of the cylinder size ones for my family. And it feeds around, I would say one would feed around 1.5 persons. So think of 3 as being able to feed around 4 to 5 servings. After I finish putting all the tofu, I usually give it a little bit of a stir. So I break up the tofu a little bit, not too much, but just enough to jumpstart the cooking. And I'll stir it up a little bit, bringing the bottom meat and the like garlic and onion to the top surface. And then just let it cook. As the tofu cooks, it'll form its own liquid, and because the liquid is coming out from the tofu itself. And the most important thing is to put the lid on and let it simmer. And I'll let the soup simmer for a little bit, and while that's the soup is simmering, I'll be seasoning the spaghetti sauce and putting some chili flakes because we like ours a little bit spicy, and then putting the spaghetti sauce right in there now that the meat is all cooked. I don't know if you do the same thing, but I'm in the habit of putting a little bit of water inside the spaghetti. You'll see right here the spaghetti bottle, sauce bottle, and shake it up so I can get as much out of it as possible. Now it's time to check on our soup. As you can see, there's a lot of liquid that the juice that came out from the soft tofu. And then see this fish sauce, it has 3 crabs on it. I usually put that way at the end, about a teaspoon of it, and it just awakens some of the flavors from the soup. And this is just my preference. I will add chicken stock toward the end if I see that there isn't enough liquid in the soup, and it doesn't alter the taste. About the last couple of minutes of cooking the soup, I'll add the green onions right on top so as not to overcook the green onions. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoy both dishes. Goodbye.